practice asana, pranayama, then we move on to deeper yogic practices, which is meditation and yoga nidra. I will also be sharing some light on what this really is and how it can help you. And of course, like I mentioned, last few minutes, we will be focusing on what we can do to build a daily practice. It does not really require you to spend an hour on the mat. If your focus is largely stress release, or just getting your mind to really start working in a positive direction at the start of your day, all you need is like 5 to 10 minutes to start your day in the right direction. Okay, so that's what I will be covering today. Now, going on to understanding what really stress is, okay, and how yogic practices help you calm your stress and really regulate your nervous system. Now, when we are stressed, so it could be any situation. You may be thrown a really simple situation at work, or in your personal life, which is not favorable to you, and that increases your stress levels. Now, when I say increases your stress levels, there are a couple of things that happen. You will see that you suddenly start breathing in a very distorted manner. Your heart rate goes up, and of course we all know our stress hormone, which is cortisol, that increases in the body, and as a result of that, your digestion slows down. Now, when your digestion slows down, it affects your gut, and your gut and your mental state are very directly correlated to each other. And of course, like we all know, it's a flight or fright situation when we are in a stress mode. So your muscles tense up, and it just becomes really tough for you to kind of think in a straight manner. Okay, so now what yoga does is, over time, with regular practice, it helps us to go into our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the state of mind that we want to be in. Okay, your parasympathetic nervous system is the rest and digest system. So this is a stage of your state of mind, which basically helps your heart rate slow down, your mind becomes more calm. Of course, your cortisol levels will drop naturally, because you're in a very calm state of mind, and with that, then it affects your gut, and your digestion improves, your muscles relax, and you'll very automatically see that your neck and your shoulders are in a very relaxed and neutral position. Because when we are tensed, the first sign of tension is that we kind of tighten up the shoulders and the neck muscles. Maybe you should kind of bring that awareness and notice it the next time you are in a stressful situation. And when we focus on activating our parasympathetic nervous system, we automatically go in a very calm, clarity state of mind. Okay, so now here's how yoga actually helps you. Now, like I mentioned, yoga is not just asana practice, the practice that we all largely see for what yoga is, but it's more like a framework to help us live more mindful and conscious lives. Now, as per the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, yoga is the 8 limbs of yoga, which basically guides how you should be living your life, right? Today, I'm going to be talking about the 4 limbs, which is asana, pranayama, dharana, and dhyana. Now, asana, we all know, which is the physical postures that help you build strength, flexibility, and body awareness. Like I always mention, asana is your gateway to understanding deeper yogic philosophy. Because when you start practicing asana, you are training your mind, body, breath connection. And when you start breathing and moving with more awareness, you're able to then move on to pranayama practice. So that is why, if you have ever done a yoga class, you will always notice that asana practice happens first, and then you move on to pranayama, because for you to be able to sit in a meditative posture and practice breath work, your mind really needs to stay calm. Okay, so I would say pranayama is the slightly more difficult practice when it comes to yoga. Okay, now, like I said, pranayama, we have different breathing techniques. Some breathing techniques help you to, fire up the body from within, to energize your body and mind. And some pranayam techniques are used to help us calm the mind, relax the body, relax the entire nervous system. And that is what you want to practice when we talk about stress. So when we are in a stressful situation, you want breath work to help you to calm your nerves and to help your mind and body completely relax. I will be taking you through some of those practices towards the end. Now, dharana is focused concentration, which is basically you train your mind to stay very present in the present moment. So when you think of our mind, right, it's like a monkey mind. You're constantly jumping from one thought to another thought to the third thought, and so forth, so on and so forth. So what happens is when we train our mind to focus on a particular thing, it could be anything. Okay, so for example, we have something called a stratak meditation, which is you are focusing on just one point in front of you. That could be a diya, okay, the fire of the diya, or you could just be focusing at a point in front of you. So you're basically training your mind to elevate everything else that is there around you and focus on one particular thing. And that same thing can be applied to your daily situations. So if you focus on bringing in more awareness or more concentration at just one particular task at hand, that makes it much easier for you to start working in a very controlled, very organized manner, and thereby reducing stress as well. And last comes dhyana, which is meditation. We all know. So meditation, again, is an expanded awareness, a deeper sense of stillness. And this, again, is built through dharana. So when you start focusing on practicing dharana, is when you can start going into a deeper meditative state. And mindful meditation, so again, like I mentioned, guided mindful meditation, something that helps you to really build awareness, to build intention through your practice, is what can help you reduce stress. And not only reduce stress, when we practice all of these over time, it also helps us to build the kind of life that we envision for ourselves. And I will be talking more about that in a bit. Okay, like I mentioned now breath work is our single most effective tool, if I could say, to help us calm our stress, relieve our stress. Okay, now it's something that comes very naturally to us, but none of us really focus on being consciously or rather consciously breathing and focusing on our breath. But if you notice, okay, next time you are in a stressful situation, I'm just going to ask you to take a moment, switch off from everything else, and bring awareness towards your breath. And you will notice how instantly your body goes into a state of calm. So we have a couple of pranayam techniques that, we practice to relax the mind, to relax the body. One is the 4-7-8 breathing. So it is basically you just inhale for a count of 4, you hold your breath. So it is breath retention for a count of 7, and you exhale for a count of 8. Always focus on longer exhales to help you regulate and calm your nervous system. Okay, now it activates the vagus nerve, which rapidly lowers the heart rate, and best to practice in anxious situations, and best to practice also before sleep to be in a deep state of sleep. Now, Nadi Shodhan is alternate nostril breathing, one of the most commonly practiced pranayam techniques. This basically helps you balance your left and right side of the body, the Ida and Pingala Nadi, as we say in yoga. So when you have that balance of your left and right, that again automatically helps you to create a beautiful balance in your body, and thereby creating a beautiful relaxed state of mind in your mind and your nervous system. And next is the Bhramari Pranayam, which again is called a humming bee sound. Here we basically focus on the vibration of the sound. So when you close your eyes and when you exhale, we do the humming bee sound. So when you focus on that vibration through the entire body, it automatically relaxes your nervous system. I will take you through all of these pranayam towards the end of class. Now, like I said, asana is the gateway to understanding how yoga can really help you and understanding yogic philosophy in its true sense for what it really stands for. There are certain yoga poses that help with stress relief. I will share, if you'd like, Anamika, the PPT later so that people could have these poses handy for whenever they need.
Sure.
Yeah. So one is child's pose. Okay, we all are aware of balasana or child's pose. You just basically sit onto your mat and do a forward bend, allowing your neck to relax, allowing your head to drop comfortably. This calms the mind at an instant. Okay, then the next one is a standing forward fold, which is Uttanasana. You can just go into a gentle forward bend as you stand, or maybe even if you're seated on a chair, you can go into a forward bend, allowing your neck to relax, allowing your shoulders to drop, and allowing your head to drop comfortably. Now, what this does is it allows your body to kind of totally surrender. It's a surrendering posture. When you allow yourself to surrender, it gives a signal to your mind to surrender to whatever situation is going on in your life. And when that happens, it helps you to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And of course, we've got a few more, like legs up the wall, which is Vipreet Karni, which helps you to, reverses the blood flow from the legs all the way up towards your head. Okay, so when you're doing Vipreet Karni, this helps you to, again, relax and de-stress. Cat and cow, Marjorie Asana. So this is a movement that helps you sync your movement with breath, and it's a great movement for your spine. So whenever you feel very stiff, whenever you feel very tensed, it's a good practice to do because it helps you to open up the spine. It helps you to decompress the spine. And it just, again, is great practice because you're focusing so much on your breath. And then we have supine twist and, of course, Shavasana. Shavasana is the corpse pose, which is lying down, but not really sleeping. You're not in deep sleep, but you're in a conscious state of deep relaxation. So these are a few of the postures that you can practice when you are in a stressful situation, or you find yourself a little anxious, or just, some days you are really tired post-work and you just want to kind of de-stress and let go of all of that stress from the day. You can just do some of these postures, focus on your breath, and you will instantly notice how it's helped you to become more calm and relaxed. Okay, like I mentioned, when we practice asana, then we practice breath work, and then we come to the more difficult, if I could say difficult, form of the yogic practice, which is meditation and yoga nidra. Now, why do I call it difficult? Because our mind is not really trained to sit doing nothing. Our mind is trained to constantly be in a state of movement, constantly focus on things that need to get done, constantly focus on things that need your attention, either at home, at work, or anywhere else. And that's why meditation becomes that much more difficult, because you need to train your mind to be able to sit and do nothing. But when you're able to do that, you start noticing how within maybe around 2-3 months of meditation, you will notice how your thought process also kind of changes, and how it helps you lead a better, more calm life. Okay. Now, what does mindful meditation mean? It basically means you're training your mind to be in the present moment. it reduces amygdala reactivity. Now, what is amygdala? It is the center of your brain that processes emotions, fear, threat. So when you practice mindful meditation, your amygdala reactivity decreases, which means you become more calm. Now, for example, I'm in a stressful situation today. Okay. Now, when my first reaction would be to really get riled up about that, to focus on the problem. But over time, if I have been practicing meditation, your reaction to the situation changes. And how does it change? You don't get too hassled by it, and your focus shifts from the problem to finding the solution. And when that happens, your nervous system is automatically in a calmer state versus when you do not. Okay, so meditation is a really good practice to do for really focusing on our mental health. Okay, and like I mentioned earlier, mindful meditation can really help you start living the life that you envision for yourself. Now, how does that happen? Is when you start focusing. Now, mindful meditation is basically you can focus on either breath work, like just focusing on your breathe in and breathe out, or sometimes you can practice by setting intentions. And when you're setting intentions and really living that intention in your mind while you meditate, that shapes your mind. So if you have heard of something called as neuroplasticity, which basically rewires your brain's neurons, okay? And mindful meditation does just that. So when you start thinking about certain things or living your intention in your mind, your brain automatically builds around that and things start working as per that. Okay, now that's a deeper aspect of meditation. Today, we will focus more on how it helps you release stress. Like I mentioned, everything, if you notice, everything that I'm talking about comes back to one point, one tool, which is breath work. Everything is related to how you breathe. So today, after this session, I want you all to notice how you breathe. Are you breathing very shallow, just to your chest? Or are you really breathing in all the way using your complete lung capacity? So the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed your breath is, the more relaxed your mind is. Okay, and now moving on to Yoga Nidra, again, another beautiful practice of yoga that helps us with, relaxing our nervous system. It is basically called yogic sleep, which means we are not sleeping literally, but we are in a deep relaxation stage. Now, this targets the hypnagogic state. Now, what is a hypnagogic state? It is that phase between wakefulness and deep sleep. Okay, so you're not completely asleep yet, but you're somewhere in between. And when we do guided yogic nidra, we focus on, bringing awareness towards the body, helping you relax each and every muscle and joint. Then the focus is on breath. And many a times we use imagery or intention, which is basically just taking you into a deep state of relaxation where you are in a different place, where you imagine yourself in a really beautiful place. And that automatically, again, helps you go into deep sleep, helps you go into a parasympathetic nervous system phase. Okay, so these are some of the tools or yogic practices that help you release stress and regulate your nervous system. Now, here is a 5-minute daily stress reset. Okay, now, like I mentioned, you don't need 1 hour on the mat. Even 5 minutes is more than enough to relax yourself, to reduce your stress, and to live with intention. And when I say living with intention, you get up each day, you practice this for 5 minutes, you set an intention, you pay gratitude, and that sets the tone for your day. And when you start living like this every day, you start noticing that the quality of your life automatically gets better. All right. So here is a quick 5-minute daily reset that we can do. One is that you first arrive and ground. So if you have, even for example, even if you're at work, okay, what you can do is just sit at your desk, take a moment to switch off from everything, close your eyes, and just feel your breath. Now, when I say feel your breath, you're not forcing your breath, you're just bringing awareness towards that breath. Then we move on to slowly breathing consciously, doing maybe the 4-7-8 breath work, or maybe Anulom Vilom. Do that about 5 rounds, and then do a quick check-in post that. So you just, check in on how you feel after your breathwork practice and see if that's really helped you. If you feel like, I'm still in a little bit of not a great mind space, maybe you do a little bit more. Okay. And then, of course, gentle movement. Now, if you're on the mat, you can do all the different movements. Otherwise, if you're on your chair, you can just do seated twists. You can do seated cat and cow. You can do seated side bends. And then, like I said, finish off the practice with an intention. Now, the intention can be very simple, like just smiling more through the day, or it can be not, judging anyone or anything for the day, or even a simple thing like just being present at every moment in my day. Okay, and that will guide you throughout your entire day, thereby helping you feel better and more relaxed. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask all of you to come into a seated position. All right, let us sit up nice and tall. Take a moment to maybe just place your palms onto your thighs and go ahead and keep your eyes closed. Bring awareness towards your breath, just feeling your breath. Inhaling and exhaling, finding the natural rhythm. With every exhale, feel your jawline soften. Feel your shoulders relax. Feel your feet gently drop down towards the floor. We will now begin by just doing Anulom Vilom or alternate nostril breathing. For this, I want you to use your right hand. Use the thumb of your right hand and the ring finger of your right hand. Okay. Now you close your right nostril with the thumb. You will inhale from the left nostril. Close the left nostril with your ring finger. Exhale from the right nostril. Again, inhale from the right. And exhale from the left. Inhale from the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. And exhale left. Now relax your breathing. Bring both palms onto your knees. Continue to keep your eyes closed. Now bring awareness to your body. Take a moment to see if you feel more relaxed in your joints, in your muscles. Now bring awareness towards how you feel in your mind. If you feel in a more calm state, if you notice yourself holding tension either in your neck or your shoulders or your hips, try to just relax and surrender. Feel your feet on the earth, on the floor. Feel the gentle pull of gravity. Continue focusing on your breath. Inhaling and exhaling slowly and comfortably. As you keep your eyes closed, let's take a moment to bring awareness towards our mind, towards our body, towards our breath. And take this time to set an intention for the evening ahead. Set an intention maybe to be calm, maybe to be feeling at ease, or just maybe the feeling of letting go. Let this intention guide you into the remainder of the day and maybe even tomorrow. We'll now take a moment to just bring our chin to our chest, bowing down in gratitude for the day that was, for another beautiful day that we've been blessed with, and for this body and mind that support us each day, every day. Slowly you can inhale to lift up. Now join your hands together, rub your palms against each other. Place the center of your palms against your eyes and slowly blink your eyes open and relax. Okay, all right. Now I want you to take a moment and maybe even tell me at the end of the session if just these 5 minutes really made you feel anything and if it really helped. And if this did help, this is a great practice to do every day just to really feel centered, to feel relaxed in your nervous system, and to be at peace with whatever is. And that's a great place to be. That really helps you to um, relax yourself. Like we keep saying, it is Stress Awareness Month. I don't think it should just be a Stress Awareness Month. It should be, throughout the year, your focus should be to really, focus on how you can reduce that daily stress. Because if we notice, a lot of our daily stress is over really small things, things that maybe don't require so much of our attention, and things that we can actually let go of. So, with that, here are some of the key takeaways that I want you to really focus on through this webinar today. That stress is physiological, okay? Your nervous system can be trained, your mind can be trained, and it's a beautiful place to be if you're able to train your mind. Now, I've been practicing, I'll give you my own example. I've been practicing yoga for really long, but I started really focusing more on these aspects of the practice over the last few years. And the shift that I have noticed in the way I react to situations, in the way I react to stress, has been very different from what I would be doing a few years before. And that has set the tone for my life. And it really is a very good place to be in. It feels more calm, it feels more relaxed. You don't get riled up over small, stressful situations in your daily life. Okay. And like I said, yoga asana is your gateway to the practice. If you have never practiced yoga, I would urge you to give it a try and do it maybe for a month and see how beautiful this practice is and how it helps you to connect your mind, breath, body. Yog Nidra, again, is deeply restorative. So if there are days that you want to just unwind, just focus on just relaxing, try guided Yog Nidra. Always do it under a trained teacher. It helps. Okay. And of course, like I mentioned, breath is your single most effective tool to reduce stress. So the minute you have any stress, remember, breath is your tool, and just bring your awareness towards your breath and you'll notice that difference. Okay. And like I mentioned, you don't need 1 hour on the mat. Just start building a daily 5-minute practice and notice how it adds up value to your daily life. And of course, from there, you can move on to deeper practices. So with that, I complete my session today. I'm open now for any questions that you may have. And you can always follow me on the social media platforms. And I'm just a tap away.
Thank you, Anushree. That was a very insightful session. And yes, we and I think all the people here felt very calm. Guys, if you have any questions, please put it on the chat box. Or you
Yes.
can raise a hand. I will unmute you and you can ask the question.
I'm just going to Anamika, stop sharing this.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Rajat Maradi says, any recorded audio for Yog Nidra?
So you can probably check out YouTube. There are many recorded, pre-recorded Yog Nidra practices available. So YouTube is your great tool for any guided meditation or even Yog Nidra. But I would definitely suggest, instead of first going to YouTube, find a teacher who can, take you through this practice, because it's a practice that really requires you to be in a very calm, mental space to really enjoy that Yog Nidra practice.
Any other questions, guys? You can just ask. Yeah, you can ask your questions. HYD, someone from Hyderabad, I believe.
Yes, guys, any questions? I'm happy to answer
Anushree, can
any.
you see the chat box? Is it available to you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, okay, great. So if you have any questions, just put it in the chat box and she can see those chats and she can answer. Okay, Anushree, till then, okay. So there's a question. Insomnia problem, even after doing the meditation, awareness, breath, practice, etc. They're still having the insomnia problem.
Okay, so okay, like I said, breath work requires you to really focus largely on the breath. Okay, and when you do that, your mind relaxes. Now, even if you're practicing meditation and you're still feeling it, it's possible, okay, that maybe when we're meditating, our mind is still wavering, our mind is still in different thoughts, and we're not completely in that meditative state. Um, like I mentioned even earlier, it's always best to practice meditation or the deeper aspects of yogic practice like meditation, yoga nidra, with a trained teacher who can take you through these guided practices. That really helps you. And over time, okay, I'm not, if you're practicing meditation, say for a few days, you will not notice a change. It has to be a practice over time. Okay, that's when you will start noticing any sort of changes, any sort of um, positive changes in your life.
Okay, someone asked, do you have any classes in Bangalore for the same?
Uh, so there are, like, I personally don't have classes in Bangalore. I do a lot of online sessions. So if you'd like, you can definitely get in touch with me on my Instagram handle, Move with Anu. But otherwise, there are many beautiful yoga teachers, many beautiful yoga studios in Bangalore. So if you're looking at physical practice, you should definitely check out, studios in Bangalore.
Is there any specific time to do yoga?
Morning time is the best. Morning time at on an empty stomach is the best because it helps you energize your body and mind, and you set the tone for the day. But if you don't have time in the morning, completely understandable. You can do it in the evening as well. But just one rule, at least, like, no food at least 2 hours before the practice.
If someone asked, does meditation helps to overcome anxiety or panic attacks?
Yes, it definitely does. Um, But again, like I said, over time. Okay, so nothing is going to be a quick fix. It's always a practice that you have to do over months. For some people, they will start noticing the change maybe within a few months. For some people, they need a year. But it definitely helps overcome anxiety and panic attacks because meditation, breath work helps to train your mind to focus on the positives in your life. Okay, and when you start focusing on the positives, automatically your brain is trained to let go of the negative anxiety and panic attacks.
Okay, someone has asked, any mobile app or specific website or YouTube channel for daily 30 minutes or 1 hour yoga, meditation, pranayam, and yoga nidra?
Or you can go to my channel
Mhm.
on
Yeah, sure.
YouTube.
You can follow her and she'll be able to guide you in
Yeah,
everything.
but
Right.
otherwise, you just go on the search box on YouTube. You will get
Yeah.
millions of yoga videos for your
Correct.
daily.
There are hundreds of people, doing and helping
Yes,
guys,
yes,
in this anxiety or panic attacks and everything.
yes.
Is any yoga specifically for sleep?
Specifically for sleep, you can practice Yog Nidra just before sleep, or if not Yog Nidra, you can just do the relaxing pranayam that I mentioned here today in class, which is Brahmari pranayam. I'm not sure if you all are aware, but Brahmari pranayam is basically the humming bee sound. So I'm just going to demonstrate here so you know. What you do is you just basically close your ears with the thumb, okay, and bring your hands to Shanmukha Mudra, where your tips of your fingers touch your face. And you inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, you make a humming bee sound. Mm. Okay, this is Brahmari Pranayam. If you do 5 to 10 rounds and focus on that vibration in the body. It will help you calm your nerves and you get better sleep.
Right. Anushree, I've also heard that like sound healing helps in insomnia or something. Does it actually helps? The
It
sound
does.
healing?
Yes, it does. It does. Again, that's a very, like I said, right? Like some of the practices, you need to be attuned to that practice. Maybe if you go for one sound healing session, you may not feel anything. You'll just feel like nice, relaxed, and then you come back home. But over time, if you keep doing, it'll probably start, because that again is vibrations, right? That's the energy vibrations that your body feels, and that helps your body to relax, your nervous system to relax.
I think extreme chronic like insomnia, people can try that for
Yes, yes,
starters
yes,
so
you can.
that they can help relax and get some sleep maybe.
Yeah, yeah. And one golden rule, which I always tell, at least 2 hours before your sleep time, start unwinding, changing the energy, the vibe of your house, which means, going into more dim lights, finish your dinner if possible before 7, and no devices. Okay, that's a golden rule if you want good sleep. No devices at least 2 hours before your sleep.
That's actually very important. We don't do this
Yeah, I think
nowadays, but
that's
we
the
should.
only time we get to scroll, and that's when we all scroll.
That
Yeah,
is true.
yeah.
But yes,
So
if you're having trouble sleeping or you want a good sleep, a REM mode in sleep, you should avoid the phones, you know.
yes, for sure, for sure. So just before sleep and just after you wake up, try to focus on other things and not on your device.
Very difficult these days.
Yeah, there's one question which I'm seeing is in between work, can we do some yoga to relax and resume? Yes, the 5 minute practice that we just did today, you can do it even at work, and you can do certain desk yoga, yoga that you can do just seated on your desk. That will help you unwind and resume with a fresh mind and body.
Right. Also, I think it helps if you walk 1 hour in between the sessions. Like if
Yes,
you're having a 1 hour, 2 hour meeting, then walk in your
yes,
office
for
premises or
sure.
something. Between meetings, you should. That
Yes,
helps.
walk, for sure.
Simple walking.
Yeah. Walk and then just kind of stretch out your shoulders
Yeah.
and your neck because you're constantly tensing them up by working on your laptops and your phones. So it's a good idea to just, walk a little bit, stretch out a little bit, going into some deep extensions like this. That will help you.
Okay. I think we are done with the questions. Any other questions, guys? We'll wait 5 minutes more for the questions.
Yeah.
Then I think we can end the session. Any question, just ask. You can raise your hand, you can put it in the chat box, anything. Any questions?
Okay, I think no more questions.
No more questions. Yeah. We will wait for 2, 3 minutes more so that if anyone has any questions, they can ask.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to ask everyone who's attended today, after the 5 minute, stress relief practice that we did you guys feel any sort of change? Was there any sort of uh, change in your, just the way that you felt?
People are giving thumbs up and
Thumbs up.
claps.
Yes.
They
Okay,
really
so
like
someone
relaxing, I
takes it
think.
as yes. Okay, awesome.
Any feedbacks for this session? Anything to say to Anushree? To us? Any feedbacks for us? Okay, someone said maybe I could not sense it immediately. Might take some time to understand the difference. Yeah, sure.
Yes, yes, sure.
Okay, someone raised a hand. I think. Okay, dear ma'am, how to stop hair fall through yoga?
Okay, so hair fall, I mean, there's not one single asana that you can do for hair fall reduction, but it's a I would say a mix of a lot of things, right? One is your nutrition. Really make sure what you're putting into your body. Um, so proteins, carbs, fiber. Make sure you have a good mix of all of the macros in your diet. Secondly, your sleep. Again, your stress has a direct correlation to your skin, your hair, your weight. um, Sleep. Did I mention sleep? Yes, I think I did. And lastly, when I talk about yoga, anything that inversions, right? Anything that helps the blood flow come upwards towards your head helps you to, increase the blood flow and thereby helping with hair growth. So, if I say any maybe downward dog or even a standing forward fold, some asanas like that. But like I said again, it's not a sure short thing. It's a mix of all of these things.
Any yoga for gray hair?
Yeah, I'm just going to repeat my answer that I just gave.
Yeah.
You will
It's the
notice.
same thing.
Yes, it's the same thing. In fact, these days I'm seeing a lot on social media
Yeah.
where people have magically reversed their gray hair, but that again has come with regular exercising, regular focus on nutrition, sleep, stress reduction, all of that.
Correct. So, someone says I'm a beginner in meditation. So, as a beginner, how many minutes is good to do, every day? How many minutes of
So if you're a
meditation?
beginner in meditation, maybe 10 minutes is a good start. You will not be able to do more than 10 minutes. I mean, when I say you will not be able to do is because your mind will start wavering. So 10 minutes is a good start. And then slowly, once you feel like when I'm meditating, I'm in a very relaxed state, I'm not thinking about anything else, then you start moving on to more, deeper practice.
Someone asked, can I drink some water in morning before yoga? You
Yes,
should
for
drink
sure. You
water.
should. You should. When you start, you should definitely hydrate and have your herbal tea or whatever you need.
Okay. No more questions, I feel. Okay, oh, there is one more. Any person operation happened in brain in is any specific yoga?
Um,
Someone had a brain surgery. So,
So, no, like I said, I mean, if you've had any sort of surgery or anything, it's always best to take a doctor's go ahead on whether you can start any form of physical practice. You can definitely do your pranayam. Again, when I say pranayam, do the more relaxing pranayam. If you're doing uh, the energizing pranayam, it of course depends on the condition, right? So it's best to first take a doctor's go ahead and then practice under a trained teacher.
correct. For operations and surgeries, definitely check with your doctors first.
Yes,
And
for sure, for sure.
okay, after tea or warm water, I can start yoga immediate or take some time.
After water, you can definitely start immediately. After tea, I'm not sure how you will feel if you're doing a very intense practice because it in kind of increases the acidic levels in the body. So it's best to maybe give it half an hour if it's just tea.
Great. Okay. I think there is no more questions. If there are no more questions, we will end this session, I think. Yeah.
Yes,
So thank you, Anushree, for joining, and thank you everyone who were there for the till the end for the questions and everything. And I hope you guys follow this meditation because these are stressful times for us and everyone. A little
yes.
yoga, 5 minutes, 10 minutes helps a lot. And it should be a regular thing. Like it's not like you did today and you forget about it after a year again, you start, it will not help.
Yeah, it's a
So,
holistic practice. If you're
yes.
looking at any changes, whether it's in your weight, whether it's in your, approach in life or anything, it's a holistic practice. You have to follow it maybe for a year, more than a year, and like make it a lifestyle. And that's when you will start noticing changes.
Correct. It's like not magic, it's consistent practice. So
Yes,
you need that. Okay, so we hope that with this session, some of your stress could be reduced and we were able to help you in, having some sort of method to reducing your stress, right? Thank you, Anushree. Thank you so much for
Thank you so
hosting
much
this
for
session
having
for
me.
us. And yes, thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. Hope this helps. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Bye. Thanks, Anamika. Bye bye.